Okay. Cutting in, spreading and rolling. How wet should my brush be? Okay, good question. Now, I've got some paint poured up here to show you this. Did you know if you dry roll a wall, it'll let you know it. Have you ever been rolling and your roller just go, well, there's no paint in that roller. You're just going through the motion. That roller should make a whole lot of noise. If you and I'll really rub those things down, and it ought to stay fluffy like that the whole time I'm painting. If I've rolled it down and it keeps getting littler and littler, guess what? I'm drying it out. It's running out of paint. I need to load it back up again. People will say, well, how much paint should I have in my brush, in my bucket? You know, I want mine to have some paint on it. And a lot of people, after they'll load that brush up like that, they'll stand there and go, well, guess what I'm doing? All the paint's back in my bucket again. And I see people, they're fanatic, they go, and they just really work on that. And I'm like, you know, there's no paint on that anymore. But what we do, I'll pick that thing up, give it a good few, and there you go. Just against it. You know, there's a right way. This handle back here is just for dipping it. If you want control over that brush, catch it up like this. Hold it up here. And when you're painting, don't go in against your trim with that loaded brush. Start out down here. See how I start out here? And then I take the tip of that brush and I just watch it and follow right along. But I want to smooth this edge out because I don't want to lip on it. I want to smooth it out to where I can paint. And when I come back to roll, that's all going to blend together. Good angle brush. If you're not a professional painter, because this is the heel, let me put this down. This is the heel, and that's the tip. And when I'm reaching into corners with this thing, if I'm not used to painting, I'll start out down here and I'll push that up in that corner, pull it away, come across here, smooth out those edges. And did you know I can stop the flow of the paint in this brush? I sure can. That brush needs to, you just let that brush do the work. If you were standing up here where I'm standing, you can see the paint crawling out of these bristles that way onto the wall. But if I push down hard on that brush, I cut the paint off of it. It will not flow and it'll start dragging. But if I'll just ease up on it, that paint will just roll out. About the same principle as a fountain pen. You know, and how that ball in that fountain pen rolls, and that ink will roll right out on the paper. Well, that paint will roll right out on this wall for you if you'll just let it. Just keep it good. And see how much paint I got on that? Got a lot of paint on that, don't I? Well, I want to paint this wall. You know? And I want to really put that paint on there. I want to just smooth it out, you know? Pull those edges down. And see, I'm not under a lot of pressure here, am I? Okay? And I want to pull those edges. I want to put that brush in there like that. Pull those edges. Like that there. Get my edges cut in good all the way around. Then I'm ready to roll my wall. Once we get all that cut in, get our cut in done, we're ready to roll some paint on. And that's basically, you know, and if you'll practice, just take your time, you'll be able to get some paint on the wall. But we'll load a Keisha, am I ahead of you again?
No, just clean up his.
Rolling, and how wet should I have that brush? I showed you that. Okay. Now, by the way, I thank all the ladies that put all this hard work into this, that this would come together as easy as it has for me. Now, there's a lot of paint in that. And you say, well, how should I roll? Have you ever tried to roll and you get all these lines?
Yes.
You're rolling too hard. You're rolling way too hard.
Okay.
Okay? I can hold that thing just like that and roll this whole wall. You see how this is? Just turn it over and you say, well, where do I start at? Well, this wall's not 8 foot, so I'm just going, and you see how my roller, look at that, no pressure. You see how much paint I'm putting on that wall? There's no pressure at all on that. And you hardly hear that, and guess what? I'm there, I want more paint in that thing. There's plenty of paint in it. If I really wanted to squeeze it, I could turn this wall over. But make sure I get all that off, pull that thing up out of there. See that? All right, we've covered a wall today. We've painted a wall. And see how, and you know what I like to do? I like to back roll. And when I say back roll, this is what I'm doing. I'm laying it down. I let my paint just lay it down on the wall. That kind of gives me about a coat and a half if I do that. And cover that up. Well, you can see the difference in the product. How do you know what kind of paint you want? There's all different kinds of sheens. We've got semi-gloss, we've got satin, we've got eggshell, we've got flat. I'm using flat today. Flat is a very forgiving paint. It'll hide a lot of stuff. But if I drop something that splashes on this, I can't wipe it off, because it'll mess my paint job up if I go scrubbing on flat paint. We use a lot of eggshell here at UT. My favorite of all is satin. Satin, I can clean it off, and it really looks good. That's my preference. I like satin. Now, semi-gloss paint is pretty, has a nice shine, it's easy to clean up, but it shows a lot of flaws. It'll show if your walls are not even, that semi-gloss paint's going to tell it. It's going to mirror it. Every reflection you're going to see. Why? Because it's real shiny. And it stands out like a sore thumb. You say, you know, and basically I would, if it was me, a satin. But if you got some real rough walls, I'd go with flat. Especially if you don't have a lot of traffic on the walls. But I'd put a flat paint on it. It'll hide a lot of stuff. Flat paint's my preference for ceilings. If you're painting the ceiling in your house, because you can sit and look across the ceiling and they're not always perfect. You'll see places, but that flat will not reflect a lot of stuff for you. It just looks better, flat, I think. And then put maybe a satin on the walls. I think you'll be happy with your paint job. All right, Keisha. All right, we're going to clean up our brushes. If you read, most of your paint buckets will say soap and water. 90% of the time, I'd say I never use soap. I will always take and I'll reach that thing out. Let me get one of these out here and show you. I'll run that out of the water and I'll scrub it good and get that paint out there. And I like to really just get a hold of it like that, push it down into my hand till I see clear water running out back here. Because if you don't clean it up, next time you go to use it, it'll be hard up to right here. Because that paint that you didn't get out, that you didn't see down in there, is going to dry. And it's going to harden, and you've run a good brush. So I tell you what, something else that I like to use, we use a lot of, good coarse brush. Actually, this thing here, I'll get it out of the water, especially if you don't paint all the time, you're going to need to clean some paint off back here after you clean it off from up here, and you're going to have to clean these up. And I'll take this, and it really, and I'll run that through my brush and keep running it through there and rinse it again, squeeze it out, and that just helps comb that out, helps take any of that excess paint out. Those wires, see how they just really work through there and clean that brush up. And then after I rinse it out, I've got a great brush. And it'll be ready to go again the next time I want to paint. And if you're like most of us, we'll paint our house one summer, we may not paint it for another 2 years. Or long, we hope it lasts that long anyway. And I know I see some faces in the crowd, you're going, I haven't painted in 10 years. You know, but that's the way it goes most of the time. That's one of the little projects we hate at home. And hopefully, if I've done my job right today, you're going to leave with a little knowledge that you didn't have when you got here. And I appreciate y'all coming out, and I hope I've stayed on key. I know I've stayed on time, and I thank you for your attention. Yes,
Thank you so much.